Hiding potential damage on entity perhaps a little too low. That it execute and I feel like they should.
Alrighty, I'm excited to see Enigma Galaxy up against Entity. It's game number 1, and I'm excited our cost lyrical and
Thank you so much, Nat, and hello and welcome all you lovely people out there. We're getting ready for action. How you feeling?
Great. I mean, we got to see Enigma return. We got some Spirit Breaker.
Oh,
Big
kalma.
enthusiast of that.
Could have had it. It could have been the lane together. Oh. Can you imagine? It would have been so good.
We'd had all the analysis in just one lane. It'd actually be pretty.
Hey, no chance. The other thing that we're not going to be seeing is the old switch up that everybody was talking about. The Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'm holding. I'm coping right now, but there will be time where they're going to MC carry. They're going to pick some like off laner. Like it's going to happen at some. Especially now with marching the creativity.
Know it.
Before it never happens. Same old Enigma.
No, I know. That could be the problem. Is to hype up these things.
Looking for the setups, right? Like, I was like incredibly strong matchup. Now you throw it into some. Take the fight to them. A Pangolier. Eidolons of. Yeah, this is just making sure they have better laning to hell their heroes in.
We already have seen how bad it can go sending a Pango into the off lane like Lacoste was talking about. That mad hero can really get punished quite quickly. Our trading hits now against Fishman up top, bringing him lower and lower. Willing to toe-to-toe even without that Essence shift.
Like, because you have that IO, you don't really care at all, right? Essence shift would be nice, but IO's like still potent. Another reason why they want to put the Pangolier away from this. Now that you put this 1 point in Pangolier, like using Swash to back into that volatile area, another kind of layer to white.
Yeah, it would. I mean, you can imagine Watson and crap out of a Spirit Breaker. In the meantime, they're having an okay time down there. Go already 7 last hits. That while he is getting denied out a little bit by Toby, not as bad as it would have been when he had all those range creeps happened in the last patch.
Perfectly fine for the setup, and the unfortunate the laning phase. Like, as someone who's got like 950 games on it, like, feels worse than playing. Just so you understand the pain.
Hold on. Let's not compare pain here, okay? This is supposed to be a safe broadcast.
No,
what the hell was that?
This is a safe space for us to share our, our deepest, darkest thoughts. And
in fact, Heather does continue through it. The Boundless Strike leaps away. Can they bring him down, though? He's stuck off to the side. Watson makes the move forward, able to find the full kill. Still with this in the...
Yep, luckily the Enigma lane is pushing that tower region and go up to CS. He's playing with some
here to be working. Maybe turns on a Fishman for the Mar getting
up into the towers to make these like quick, swift moves. It's a lot of poking, and that's why this Storm's got to pop off. The flip side, Enigma.
Oh, Sumail just moves in. Okay, well, somebody popped off in the mid lane, that's for sure. Sumail, very quick.
Kind of what I was hinting at is like, if Enigma like just gets the lead, then lineup will just drop the back.
It needs to be him though, because right now Amar is not having a good time. Like we were talking about, okay, Stormer needs to pop off, but if Slark is this badly hurt early on, it's going to be pretty rough too. That being said, it's 9 last hits on the Invoker, 9-1 versus 6. He's getting bodied here.
At this point, we can say, don't worry though, it's only Clark. Okay,
right, exactly.
I can go 16 for 1, but yeah, for Enigma, it's like just last pick. It still, even if it's in a bad lane, then itself, something the backline should probably buy a shard. You'll enable everyone else. Game plan, it's not the worst.
Lifts the wave there too. Some pressure on with Snail. Very, very bold stuff coming out from him there as they missed the tornado onto him earlier too. So already you can see the pain that's starting to come in onto that Invoker in the mid.
Yeah, I mean, luckily for Storm, no support Enigma can make. Because I have to have Hug Slark, Bounty Hunter in the Enigma. Like, Breaker can't leave bot lane. Look at mind control, and half HP, he will just get denied down. very much Nigma are locked into the side lanes. It means this mid lane is just that perfect 1v1 duel on its map.
Really taking it away. Now you can see sort of this dota2 odds. They were a little bit heavily into the favor of Entity before the game. Now a little bit more close. Maybe a testament to how this early game has gone. That getting off to a hot start with the Lesh. The question that I've got with this is, you know, when are they going to try and sort of take advantage of that? Sumail mid went onto him again, but Amar now turning toe-to-toe against Watson. Wants to bring him down. Level 3 on the Slarkin. This does not appear to be working. Maybe turns on to Fishman for the kill. Can he get away afterwards?
He has some branches.
A couple more to get out of there, and he is going to be able to survive. Still a really nice play. Builds up the stacks on the Monkey King. Kills off Fishman.
The amount of like trust you have to have, like GH probably in comms like, don't worry, Amar, I got you. Keep going, keep trying.
Then to be oh no. Oh god.
There's nothing to say.
That was not how that was supposed to go. And GH, he's going to be pulled back in, tries to get away. That's a double kill for Watson. In towards mid though. Nigma wanting to make up for the sins of the top lane will manage to take down Stormstormer again.
I gotta calm down from that one.
Oh, it's happened.
It's just like, I'm looking at this like beautiful aggression. It's like, alright, that's hype. And then it's like, you don't want to go on the Monkey King. I feel like so far Nigma should have learned that the Monkey King is altering the Slark in the map. 30 for 12, you got 15 for 4. Amar, he's playing with some aggro.
GH is like, don't worry guys, Sumail coming mid. We're gonna get some more kills there. Fishman starts to drop down low. The Spearbreaker charge might be enough to finish him off. Can they get out afterwards? And they do bring down that Disruptor. Try and chase down this Bounty Hunter. Katomi taking a lot of damage, still just level 3. And Sumail ready to dive pretty freaking far, but runs out of mana before he can find that final touch.
Part of the game where when Irons do leave their side, sure they are going to be sacking a Slark side lane, but it can propel completely break open this.
Take over in a big way. Now the charge comes from behind, and Toby starts to get dropped lower and lower, swashbuckle forward, but enough for the kill. But up top, Monkey King. Oh, Watson got very, very low there. Does manage to escape.
0 ошибок. Я не ошибаюсь. 0 ошибок. Я не ошибаюсь.
Monkey King was dead to the right, but just one little bit of damage.
Kurho bashes in a row. Love to see it. Forces back Katom. But yeah, 7.5 minutes in, and you can see there's like very clearly defined layers here, which is why that Monkey King getting away is so clutch, because the top net worth right now for Entity very much sort of their hopes and dreams in this game, because I mean Stormstormer, you know, you can see it's kind of rough for all of those heroes around that.
Rough, but I think the saving grace is he is going towards Wex. He is going to be a hero that is one of the best that counts if you don't do power early on. Get the levels, take away the mana, less rack lane can't continue. Like Entity, they can get to like 1 or 2 cheap items and then they correctly choose back to fight. They're going to be able to deal with that aggression. Can they get to that point? Again, like Wukong on the Monk. Where you can like need or like desire to try and find these kills. I feel like Katomi's been doing this the entire time. Like he's on the brink of death. It's quite unusual.
Really, well, Meteor Hammer revealed in the mid, but there is a lot of healing coming out from GH. More than enough to keep him alive. The glimpse, is it going to be enough damage? No. Doesn't quite have enough to kill off Sumail. Misses the stun completely. Fairy Fire backs away. Will survive. Oh man, by the skin of his teeth, Sumail gets out of there. Stormstormer showing that value, like you talk about, the counter aggression, it can be strong.
Nigma wasn't able to be decisive enough to take this tower. He took this tower. Not looking at a 9-minute situation. Invoker is like map feels lost. So some of these early moves, Nigma exactly what Entity to get themselves into this. Far so good. Net worth look absolutely Monkey King. Okay, to the call it off lane slot just to make it sound better. 2.9k for a.
He's catching back up, but it's going to be a little bit. That definitely hurt him. Now, there are some really good stacks that are built up in the jungle too. Fishmen here going to be able to get the glimpse and then run away. But there was a ping on the Radiant Ancients. The Stormstormer drops another Meteor Hammer mid. GH can only just look on. So Entity are aware that these stacks are there and that eventually Lesh is going to want to make the move to go and clear them out, which he might just do right now, actually. So that could be a sort of where they come and try and contest him. We'll have to watch and wait.
Well, it's kind of in like a farming state. Not outplayed, but let's engage in the middle. They want to take the fight. They have to bring a lot of heroes.
Go right on in, the glimpse to get him away again, and now Kuro's kind of in without a plan, without any help, and he's going to be brought down. So Entity, they actually used 4 heroes in that direction. One was a TP that got canceled, but they're going to go back and clear out those stacks after everybody.
Yeah, Fishman, he's had some really regards to just preventing Nick. No, the mid lane. I think if anything, you might look to more. You know, when you're a Pangolier into a Nigma, the lane, potentially we need the overwhelm with 4. That could have been necessary, Nigma needed to actually break them. It's somewhat illegal that Storm's power is still up at this minute, especially when there's like bounty hunters. Not a double whammy. I think Nigma will be kicking themselves a little bit. They haven't been able to rest this match.
I mean, the other thing too is just that there isn't anybody to come on in and stop this Meteor Hammer from happening. Like, Lesh is wanting to farm out the jungle so much that nobody is coming to contest this, and it's free hits. It's like, think about when we have all those smokes coming in to take a tower and take the tier 1. Like, he's getting it for free.
What a world we live in when Invoke is taking the mid tower quicker than Leshra.
Dude, it feels really bad for him. And he's even going to get the last hit. So yeah, tower goes down. And, well, they do bring in Kuro. Static Storm already found Fishman. Did he have enough to get the kill? No. So the Disruptor gets out. Nigma, I mean, they're still farming. They're still getting what they want to some extent, but Entity's just getting it quicker.
I will just emphasize if I see Spirit right clicking, I will probably innately scream bash at some point.
That's fair. That's reasonable.
This is nothing to do about Nigma or Kuroki. It's just my innate need for the counter basher. Bias or whatever.
But the bias comes out.
Yeah, that's true. Let's go. Wait, what? Sorry, hold on.
Down bottom. Smoking up, trying to find a kill. It's just going to be Katomi there. That is still at least one. Get on the board. Haven't been able to take a tier 1 tower yet, but they're getting towards that timing with Lesh, finding his bloodstone that they're looking for.
The mech on G. Even more hills are going to be coming out. Anything, it's very select. Can I get baited into fighting? Static Storm, the Invoker, Tornado, like, can put themselves in.
Careful here, Amar, Tornado to start. They find him, tries to TP out to break it. Monkey King, the Boundless Strike was still on cooldown.
Oh, this entire time, I kind of forgot that. I won't even lie. There's an Enigma in the bot lane, and he's 700 gold away from a greed. Oh no, 2 months Kuro died with the Bloodstone.
Yeah, Katomi on the job. He knew what it was gonna become in that direction. Hasn't been able to get level 6 yet, but I think he's okay with this.
You were able to take away Bloodstone for an extra minute. It's like he's always chasing that next minute timing. 20 minutes, like that's their element. Doing the small things and the mid tier 1 tower, take away the Bloodstone. That's the play there from Mar actually. He lost his ultimate passive, check if it was bounty hunter. Then he knew it was bounty. Some might say it was a waste of a scam, but I kind of like it in the early game with making these like map plays.
Die either. There were a lot of heroes up. Could have been bad. Man, I will say Stormstormer, like, this is the most Meteor Hammers I've seen in the game in a really long time. He's just spamming it off cooldown on these towers. Tower damage is going to be off the chain.
Actually, he's doing this against the Spirit Breaker with an IO relocate.
Right. And
that Pangolier, like, you know, rolling thunder at any point. Like, he's doing this against some of the best anti-esque heroes. Yeah, Nick, we just haven't been able to capitalize on it. confidence from Stormer.
Well, and you can see they're anticipating a gank, but they're not really wanting that. They're not wanting to make moves yet. Still waiting for that Bloodstone. Sumail has the gold now, can go and pick up at least the point booster if he wants. Still going to be a couple of minutes. Drags a couple of seconds until he gets it off. And when do you think they want to try and fight on the side of Nig? Is there a moment they're actually going to be sort of trying to take the fight to the side of Entity?
Any minute when they complete that Bloodstone, it'd be their time to go. Yet to see a rolling second, yet to really be a lot into the fight.
Tries to get him here. Is it going to be enough to take down Stormstormer? They drop down the sentry and they do get that kill. Other side, they get away from the action.
Finally, Stormstormer got punished. I mean, again, he's had a great game so far, but I feel like he should have died at least once. This cheekiness of his tower aggression does come in. But yeah, now that Nigma has the blade on the Slark, they've got Battle here as well. Bloodstone on left right now. This is a massive timing for Nigma across the river to look for the fights. So they have to be careful for this entire time. And we haven't even mentioned too much. He's about to complete it. They're running into a static storm. They're running on Monkey. Isn't going to be. I think Monkey's got. Sorry, complete time.
One of
the freest games.
No, I mean, and that's a huge point as well. If they can keep them there and actually immediately just going to drop it onto Amar, he is in a world of hurt. They try and get him in, try and heal up with the IO. Is it going to be enough to keep him alive? Does Leonard TP out? And he can break it? Nothing. He gets away. They drop the black hole late. Oh, Toby, a little unfortunate on that one.
They threw the kitchen sink at him, and yeah, Amar just didn't die.
I
mean, that's a lot used for nothing. I mean, if I'm Nigma right now, I feel like they've got to go again as soon as
Oh, that's screaming for the aggression already. They're finding Toby.
Why not? Makes the move over, finds that kill, and Nigma keep on looking for more. Amar immediately on a Katomi. They will throw the glimpse to try and get him away, but they find Fishman. Can they bring him out in time? No. Still, a huge win. And after finishing that Bloodstone, a couple of seconds later, Bailey's got his Kaya.
Boy on this level. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, I mean, this is... Entity was having such a good, stable game, and like, that is the one thing that they didn't want to do with this. Give an opportunity to Nigma to go, wait, pull down the down, let's keep chaining it, and it's not going to stop.
Keep going for more. Fishman there, tries to get the glimpse to get him away, and it actually looks like he will be able to for a moment, but eventually they're able to chase him down with the Pango, and now the roll-in onto Stormstorm. He doesn't have anywhere to go. No black hole available. I don't know what happened to it, but it is not here now, and good turn with Watson. That might be enough to keep him alive. Sumail is low on mana, so everybody has to retreat out of there. Afford to give up any of these kills. The track gold ready to come back the other direction, so 9-5. Separating the two teams. But a very action-packed last couple.
Right now, they need to make the map feel wider. They can't fall victim taking every single fight that they would press. Monkey jumping around, invoke, hammer. When you're able to do it, cool down up again, play underneath you and look for that point when Nick way later down the lane. It doesn't matter if you can see the power on you.
Vision, Glimpse pulls it back in. Second round of this now, the Meteor Hammer connects. But Amar, he just walks away. Do they have enough to keep him alive? Yes, they do, and now Sumail is doing so much damage to all of them. The Greaves, will it be enough to keep him alive through it? It looks like it will, so the turnaround comes out, and now the BKB, but immediately they relocate, but they get him back in. Sumail, he's caught and can't get away. Kuro now in trouble. More track gold gonna be given over. So Entity find too much kills, and well, Io on the relocate, he's gonna get in trouble. He's gonna get ran down now as well. A couple of big pickoffs.
Perfectly starting these fights, right? Like, aggressive positioning from Amar, he just drags them back, and it's like an Entity are forcing Nigma to take fights when they're not leanly ready to do it. Rambling and like hoping to throw bodies in. Sure, it looked great, you know, fucking up early damage, but Monkey can be stand his ground. That rift, Enigma's very snowball-esque lineup where they kind of all need to bump up together. You don't want to be clumped up against midnight pulse.
No, it's a problem, and there was that moment. I mean, I think the group definitely everybody had taken so much max value out of it. Stormstormer is going to be charged. I don't know what happened to break Lesh's whatchamacallit either. It looked like he was getting relocated out of there. But regardless, it was the glimpse that must have come out onto Sumail.
So many ways for it's either hit by a static storm, there's Manifest, there's Shurikens if he's tracking, just ways for it to be a difficult. Yet to see the iconic. Well, he's out. Re-engage after. Like, yet to see that really happen.
Of course. Disruptor. I think everybody knew when we saw that Leshrac coming out. Likelihood that you're going to get a Gaio afterward. Having the perfect answer for this Disruptor, at least in some regards, not in every regard. But the run-in looked good. It was the save that was a problem. 20 minutes now. 10 to 8. Still very, very close between two teams. And you said that, we're probably not going to be seeing Ocean anytime soon. It does kind of feel like that's the next thing on the docket, though, for these, like a big fight, maybe? I don't know. What do you think? Or do you they just want to try and push down more towers? May have.
The only time that Nigma, may have pressed that button, boss. I thought it was a push to mute, not push and mute. I forgot. Anyways, what was I saying? I feel like for both teams, and they don't have that innate really break the biggest fight in dota2.
Well, they drop down a static storm, low on mana right now on the bar, and as it gets burned, they get the black hole this time. Gotcha. Nice little pick off. Take down a Mar. You got away last time though, right?
Team kind of died for it, boss. Like Groundhog, Mar in the dire jungle.
Good point. Well, regardless, it does feel like this game very much revolves around the Lesh for Nigma, but Stormstormer and Monkey, they're both scaling and be like really big problems for the moment.
Deso on them. Mage there for the Leshrac. Desolator as well. Armor of Leshrac. Monkey is going to small
Meteor Hammer. It doesn't connect because Kuro got the charge through. Still control now onto MC. Wants to get away, but will he be able to? Tommy, okay, they turn and are ready to fight. Now has to roll on out, but Flex is already dead though. Watson caught him. Oh, all right, evacuate. Everybody needs to get out of there. And Watson, I don't know if he's gonna let you do it. Mar tries to turn to fight onto this Monkey King. I'm not sure if it's gonna be enough. Stormstormer, the disarm, it's there. Watson's still living through this. He's dropping lower and lower though. And well, the death of the dodge. He's in a banana form. Watson, he lives up through it, and now tries to turn to get away. It's not gonna happen. The banana, it went moldy, and now they're looking for more. These fights just are going absolutely haywire, back and forth, as eventually Toby gets brought down too.
Entity, it just got split apart there. The fact that Nigma were able to disengage, like Leshrac dying at the very start of the fight. Like some teams, they're piecing out, they're not taking it, but they were just gonna, you're on the north side, let's just re-engage a little bit. So
I mean, it's true, right? Like, think about how many of the fights could start good for Nigma where Sumail dies, like, doing no damage. Like, how does that happen?
Rarely any. And that's where, like, Entity, again, like, their heroes, they thrive on taking the brunt of the engagement and then going, now you're in our territory. When they're the aggressors, unless they're protecting each other, it's so much different. So I feel like, Entity got a little bit too excited with their game. And at any moment with the lineup, give them that opportunity. They will. Mentioning how hard it was to reach, that's the opening that needed to take it.
Right, and these next couple of minutes are going to be very telling because we haven't seen that explosion out of net worth. The team very much still splitting the map. I want to see if Nigma can actually like put the clamps down on this, sort of use the Aegis to play a little bit more oppressively around the map, shut off the areas where Entity are going to farm, or if it's going to be more of the same. Could be tough.
Aegis is a key factor for Nick.
烈焰上
all their
塔正
heroes
受
are
到
locked
攻
in
击
big。spells. And maybe not all of them, but at least Monkey, Disruptor, and Enigma, right? If spells are down, more.
They're bringing in a lot of heroes. If they take this fight afterwards, it might go boiling for him. And in fact, they find him more. Optimal calls command down, tons of damage, he's gone. Give up the Spirit Breaker. Just let him die. Didn't end up happening, and now thinking about going in, will return away. So, do lose 2 heroes there. Entity, good placement of taking their fights on their terms.
Enigma fashion though, it won't matter. They again, right? It's talking about these big spells, right? 90-second cooldown now on Wukong. Static Storm will cooldown for a minute. Sure, you're trading up, but Clark has put himself in a position. He isn't the carrying the. He is just like sacrificial lamb that will just put his body in. He bought this shard earlier. He's not going BKB. He's just forcing the shot. I have to
天
stop
辉军团
so
正
that the
在
aggression
扫
doesn't.
描。
I feel like for Enigma, they need. This is another window where they make this pay. We are leaning towards BKBs to come out, and then they all look to. Oh yeah, already look. Enigma spoke.
See Katomi sort of scouting all this stuff happening. Sumail runs on in. They'll get tracked, head on out to push out the wave. But yeah, still playing very much in the driver's seat, at least for right now with that Aegis. They do have the Agnum Shard done on GH also, so that extra spell lifesteal, very solid stuff. Katomi walks into vision for just a moment. They TP in a lot now. Bringing a Mar, Tornado lift up. Katomi, he's gone. Disarm. Tries to get some rundown here. Static Storm, they don't actually connect on anybody, but Watson, he's right on top of him. Mar, thinking about getting away, is already under the ulti form, but hasn't decided to pop that big boundless yet. It's like, yeah, Entity, after losing the bounty, they won't go for any more chase.
If they connected on the that's when they would have probably thrown in the Monkey King. They don't hit the big spell, they reflect it, they wait, they hope. They understand that at any point and just look to take multiple fights. Like a lineup where if they survive the big spells, they're looking fights after that. The Entity game progresses.
See if the next couple. Oh, Paladin Sword. Oh man. So the traded over lifesteal is pretty spell lifesteal. Spell amp and then gain spell lifesteal and can share the spell lifesteal with another target. So amping that up with Paladin Sword now, I don't know how Lesh dies.
Yeah, they gotta try and, you know, either break that tether or kite out that engagement, but it's very, very difficult. And luckily for Entity, they do have one of the best spells, which is Pull. You know, you throw the 2 heroes inside that, they're gonna should be dying.
I want to see, because this is like, to me, this is the reason that I think this combo has looked so unbelievably good with Lesh. The only hero that I feel like it makes even look better is the Lifestealer sometimes, but immediately jumps now onto that Bounty Hunter now on the Stormstormer, trying to find and kill him off. Static Storm is down, but they will be able to walk away with that BKB. They go in for a second salvo. Sumail chasing, got some spirits out there as well. Katomi going to get caught by that Rolling Thunder. There's another glimpse to pull that Lesh even further away. And in the end, it is only going to be the Disruptor going down, it looks like.
Really good job. When they don't connect on their spells, they are disengaging so quickly. But they kind of, no one's in the area. Scaling out with the orbs, throwing down the ward, but yeah, already far to the right-hand side.
I think that this is sort of these like band-aid remedy measures. I think Disruptor's been doing a really good job of like keeping Sumail out of the fights. The kinetic fields, the glimpses, it's been really annoying to play with. But when this BKB comes out, that feels like it's a whole nother turning point.
Especially the fact that he's gone, Bloodstone, then he had, of course, Bots, D-Blade, Blink, like he's gone for items before BKB. When you get to like the pivotal part of the game, it's going to be the 9-second BKB. Whilst Invoker's already times, Monkey King's you. Yeah, I feel like for Enigma, they kind of wish the game was in a more aggressive, but both teams No real net worth has shifted either way throughout this entire game. It's anyone's game.
Right, and there is also that worry eventually that could come out of like, Invoker isn't going for it yet, but Aghanim Scepter once already a full X-Sword Invoker at this point, going into Sheepstick for them. But with this Midas Stormstormer scale and damage, and that combo together with Black Hole, I mean, it's devastating. Well, we will see. But for now, Entity holding on to this Radiant jungle. Good wards down. They're almost positioned like they want to try and pressure this bottom tier tower, but it's a pretty bold move without an agent.
天辉军团正在走。
Team in the game. Fighting this bot area, it's like you looking up. Use the bot.
They already scanned it though. The scan out there actually caught onto Storm Armor, so they knew about this smoke before it even went out.
A second swing. Do the let's go back again. They don't.
Entity will take over this side and now looking for anybody, but not finding Nigma instead. They're gonna head in with 5.
Anti-healing is down the wood. Bottom Nigma. Contain them. So far,
一
Nigma
眼军团正在
has
扫
poking the
描。
spells and then chase them down up.
Find anybody. Is out front, kind of charged.
The entire game.
Right. It looks. I mean, and now they have the BK down on Lesh too. Yeah, this is. I mean, the smoke is not going to connect, but this next fight, I feel like for Entity, you got to be very careful about how you play it.
Mind Control's got a 9-second beat. Yet to use. Yet to use. Mars picked up this ag, so he can jump in. If he's quick, he's disengaged. Harder to sack.
Likewise, though, as you mentioned, Watson having completed that Scotty, it's a whole nother level of trying to shut down that heal potential that's coming from the Lesh. Not really looking like they're actually going to find a fight here. Instead, it's probably going to be around that next Roche area. At 2.5 minutes till it's capable of respawning, or till it will respawn rather. Sort of middle of the road, and Farmer does finish off now with Shard. He's going to bring that one over in just a moment. Yeah, they're very much giving up a lot of ground right here.
Calm game right now. Amar's been so aggressive this entire time that he chill, please, just calm down. And now they're like waiting for them. Again, this is the point where both teams realize that using spells now, it means neither team after a big kill look to chase for a round. Tier 2, tier 3, so many towers. Both teams respect that Roshan is the key. You dodge each other, smoke around the map if you find someone that's great, but they're kind of just dancing around. Enables them to, with the knowledge that that's bigger than just haha we killed.
See if they actually can take that fight. Katomi walks into vision for just a moment. The rest of the team pretty far away. Amar, he's going to immediately take off that track, but Entity having to they're here and will get the D ward. He jumps out after leashing onto Fishman, so they take out that vision. Also worth noting, that's an Aghanim Scepter completed for Pango.
Especially with the fashion, he's already going to be able to disrupt that Black Hole at points in the game as well. So very useful.
Underneath a ward, they know what's going on right now. Look at this movement away. So the entire side of Entity, they TP 4 heroes bottom right away. As soon as they catch sight down there of Sumail and G8.
They got to run back to the top side of the map. They have to protect this ward and have outside road. Part of the game for either team. Nigma, as soon as they see the TP's bottom, they're like, you know what? Let's get back to the top side. Let's get ourselves here. And it's surprising. I feel like Vision in Entity's game, even though Nigma have the Slark, I feel like Entity just have the stronger observers.
Wait a minute now. Katomi. That maybe was just to get the bounty hunter away, but they kill off Amar's courier. Was his Echo Saber.
Yeah.
See? They're going to be in trouble up here. Spot him. Stormer catches him. He has a BKB though if he
烈
needs to
焰
use
上
it.
塔
MC
正
will
受到
pop it,
攻击，
walk away.
Roshan's respawn, so any bells or item used right now will be... Anyone's out to scout out this Roshan.
I mean, the other thing, like this MC Pango is huge around the pit right now. As they drop down the meatballs, Stormer won't be able to connect. But with Basher and Aghanims on Pango, he is like such a huge fight presence right now.
Luckily for Nigma, at least, you don't need to take the fight as a Pangolier. It's more
烈
a
焰中塔
comfort of
正受
aggressive
到
positioning.
攻击，
No, neither team's pinged out the Roshan. Nigma somewhat aware of their desire to look for that fight.
MC somewhat low on mana right now. But Kuro, charge, it connects onto two, both supports. Caught, Amar runs in, and Fishman already dropped down the ulti, but he popped the Dark Pact, he popped everything. Shadow Dance, he's away. Kuro, he's going to die. Amar, does he have a way to get out of himself? Doesn't quite look like it. MC already dies to Stormstormer. So they've taken down two. Sumail still chasing. Finds Stormstormer now. The rest of his team moving into position, but the Meteor Hammer is going to land it, and the Meteor damage is so insane. Sumail goes down. Watson and Stormstormer just wrecking havoc at this early point in time, and now Mar wants to get out of there. Looks like he's going to be able to, but that is an easy road for Entity now.
1.1.1 from Nigma. You've got on the right-hand side of the fight, you've got MC trying to force the Monkey King and Enigma not to enter the fight, but it was one black hole into Wukong, into Sunstrike, which killed off him, and then you've got Leshrac just running in. Like, a lot of plays coming from Nigma. Thank God we have a replay with this one. So, like, Kuroki, he starts with the Euros from Kataomi, prevents Fishman from dying, and that alone completely ruins the fight. Because if you look at the mini-map, you now have, like, 3 heroes of Nigma, MC by himself taking the fight. We'll see it for a split second, but it's like, yeah, this is not the fight you expected from Nigma, especially at this point in the game with the items that we're mentioning. This is like a, you jump on here, you execute, you go for another here, you execute, but they weren't able to do that. Entity, just perfect fighting the entire time, keeping each other alive and punishing them perfectly. And they get the Roshan, they get the 10k lead.
This timing right now, too, we just talked about the Stormstormer shard, but also hitting level 20, that talent, 80% extra damage. It's like, it's so insane from the Invoker when you get this combination. We saw it right there. Absolutely devastating.
He's able to farm so quickly with it. He's able to team fight with it. And
wait a minute though, the Meteor Hammer, oh, it comes back to bite you. Is he gonna get away though? Still has that damage coming into him from the Diabolic Edict, wants to run away. Watson chose up, they completely missed the Boundless Strength, but it's gonna be enough to keep Stormstormer alive. Yeah, super weird that last one, and like you said, the fight ends up, you know, now being this 11k gold lead along with an Aegis on the Monkey King.
How beautiful this game is, because at a nice edge, right? Both teams were equal the entire time. That second Roshan, that is the decider. And you see it with the graph. It's but they understand that, like, there's no plan B with their lineup, right? There's no way to be like cute with the map. It's just we Pickoffs need to fight, and even when they're down, they're going to continue doing the same thing. This game lasts 2 hours. We'll be saying the same thing for 2 hours.
Well, we'll see if that ends up happening. I don't think maybe did he try and close it out early? We'll see. You can see the switch up there. He nods as well towards bet.io, but 38 minutes in and Full of Fire on Monkey King. I mean, I guess the thing that feels weird about that was that, like, the last fight didn't even feel like a fight. It felt like 2 different ones happening simultaneously where none of the best spells were used the right way by Nigma. I wonder if that looks different, if they can get all together, or if this, like, 8k gold lead now has sort of made it almost insurmountable.
I feel like this gold lead, it doesn't really matter for Nigma unless it's like 30k. Like, there's always going to be opportunities to outplay, outposition, and just out-tempo Entity based on the fact they're locked into that. I think they're cushioning that with how they itemize. Right? You mentioned the Nullifier, there's now a Hex Invoker. They're giving themselves ways to engage without having to commit the kind of game-deciding spell usage. Now Entity, finally, they actually cross the river with aggression. He wards off.
See, immediately afterwards, a gem bought by Kuro, feeling like they need to try and take away some of this vision. Because it's fair, like, The other big benefit of Entity playing like this now is that they're going to be able to control the map, just deny all of that vision away from the Watson. They were getting set up on him down bottom. Don't want to go on that Aegis carry underneath the tier tower. It's not going to end.
He's actually going for a Hex himself, which will give Nigma some more explosive entry. Yeah, if anything for Nigma, game plan for them, it just needs to be a clean connection. Rookie, of course, he's got Shadow Blade on the Spirit, which means when you enter, it's like you're not controlling the fight. You're going to get used up, or you're going to get some form of spell on you to prevent you from being that. But it means the rest of the Nigma need to utilize the vision he presents to take the fight. I don't think they've been doing that well this game at all. I think that's somewhat weak at using their vision that they gained being Slug or
天辉下塔正受到攻
Entity
击，
has been thriving.
夜眼上塔正受到
Two
攻击。
tower taken for Entity as the thriving's going to continue. We also saw Lincoln Sphere done on Stormstormer, so even now that easy opening that they have with the Blink Hex is not going to be super available to them. Sumail gonna have to find some other avenue to make that work. It's feeling pretty dire. It's pretty rough right now. MC is the other hero to me that maybe can make like a bit of a difference and create some chaos in these fights. But he really needs to be able to do a lot with this Basher Aghanim Scepter combo.
So just to mention, Sumail being quite cheeky there, he's throwing his Hex on the ground at high ground, pushing out the wave without it, and then pick it back up when he's back out of fog. So he's doing even the small to try and have an item reveal to give him some. So yeah, Entity are not aware of this Hex.
You see it, Stormstormer, he runs right into him, but immediately the Hex comes out and they got control onto the Slug. Devastation! He got absolutely walloped. Dude, that talent is insane. That should not be possible. And now they're going to pull back in and he'll off GH afterwards. I mean, yeah, it was way too much, way too quick.
MC bot as well.
军团
Yeah,
全面
making
加
ATB.
No, he's going to get hexed down now.
攻击。
Wants to get away, already down to below half HP. Well, Hammer tries to push him back, but Alacrity, one more hit, MC tracked kill. I mean, that's the other thing that we didn't even really talk about is every one of these kills turn into more issues. Watson, he is no longer Aegis. Okay, expired 40 seconds ago.
I guess that's the Hex reveal. It took a couple deaths on Nigma, but
Kuro's the one that gets all the gold for it.
Oh, no.
He's gonna now get caught there for a moment by the stun. The Hex is out on the Leshrac, ready to run forward. Pops the BKB. They need to get something out of this fight. Gotta find a goal. The blink! Oh, the blink back! Sick stuff coming from Sumail, but will it matter? Might not be able to do that much as his BKB is running low on Sumail, but he does have the Hex ready. And it looks like they're not gonna tempt fate anymore. Look at the huge dodge on that black hole though.
an Entity, it's like they're already dicing with death because they know their monkey's dead, so anything they do here is volatile. It's like, even if you win, it's like, you're not going to gain anything. The fight is for fun. And then it's like, okay, you know what? Let's disengage here, but if they hit the hole, then sure, it's a whole different story, but yeah, very quick fingers from Sumail there. Again, this net worth lead, it pretty much feels like nothing. At any moment, any Hex, any initiation, both teams have the damage to kill off the hero.
Right there, they tried to get the jump on the Stormstormer Spirit Breaker, but it wasn't going to work.
I feel like Ahmad's just been playing a mini game, you know? Like,
A little bit.
It's not like we're talking about Slark being this insane damage dealing carry, you know? It's just like he's just vibing. He's just living his little best life, fishy life. He jumps in, he's like, ooh, hello! He jumps out, takes the spells. I would like to see him, start scaling a little bit in this game.
I mean, it's been a little bit rough for the guy, definitely. I mean, he's right about the same level as the initial. Again, off-lane Slark. What we were anticipating will give in. Kuro is going to run away there. Does manage to get some separation. And was that a... He did have the Aghanim Scepter. But now, human might be the right option.
You gotta get a BKB. Critical. Every engagement he's had right now, he's charged in, and then just the one yours from Bounty Hunter. Destroying his game. If he's able to lock on someone, there's been 2 fights where Kuroki's found Fishman, and if he's able to tank the Static Storm himself, or at least force Fishman to force away and not think about the better place to fight, that's when Spirit Breaker becomes OP hero. Why this hero is so good at the post-TI era when Barrett kind of popped up a little bit. For BKB, very difficult. That's mainly speaking about support. Before you have levels, ags, and whatnot. It's different. But
夜眼上塔正受到攻击。
you're kind of like a primal beast, just with shit farming speed. Like as soon as you get BKB, you are like the king of the fight.
Well, and I think that's something that's. I mean, we talk about sort of what that hero's.
夜眼上
In
塔正
general, it
受到
just
攻
feels like
击。
Nigma need a little bit more out of all of their heroes, and that's what this Bounty Hunter is kind of given them. You see 3 components of an Aghanim Scepter done on Disruptor, playing out of position 5, and you know that they're starting to get to a really scary scenario. Boots of Bearing now for the Bounty Hunter. All these heroes are going to be scaling as MC does manage to get the roll away, so won't be able to catch. But yeah, I'm seeing all of these NT heroes become very scary, and for Nigma, much just the Lesh for me.
Bounty Hunter, like because of his team talent, plus the boots are there, right? He's giving his team bonus move speed. Oh shit, hold on 1 second. He's big caught.
He is in, and he is down, going to fall. The rest of the team was moving in, but it was not going to matter.
Roshan's up in 5 seconds actually.
Oh man,
They
does have buyback on it.
With no rolling for 35.
That ends up becoming a bit of an issue there, but you got to imagine that this is like the key one. If you give up this Aegis, you're either giving away a refresher shard. What is it going to be? It's the refresher shard for Toby. Could be really rough. And you hate to give this one up. They have to know that Roche is going down. Mar steps forward, and Katomi, they glimpse him. Stormer catches him right there to the side, and again, Amar in trouble. Does get the huge heal up. Roche, it's gonna fall. Stormstar picks up everything. Amar even managed to get the cheese in time. Aegis, refresher, everything there, and GH, he's gonna be the one that's left behind. Unreal. Entity came to play today.
I feel like this entire theme of the game has been they have protected this top side of the Naya jungle near perfectly. Like anytime Nigma tries to place themselves there, like all the highlights post game could literally just be glimpses into just Nigma death. It's done a really good job, and yeah, you know, first Roshan goes Nigma's way, but second and third going Entity. That's exactly what you need to be able to build a necessary, you know, an actual valid net worth lead.
Well, and now you do have that Aghanim Scepter done on the Disruptor too. So, I mean, everything just becomes that much more difficult. If Sumail doesn't pop that BKB in time, it's going to be just, you can see the swing there. Go with plus win probability. Still holding out some hope, as you're talking about. Even with this enormous lead, there is still some potential that they have to take fights. But Entity very much in the driver's seat right now.
You know, I asked about slot and scaling.
Yeah.
Just don't look at his quick buy. It's the opposite of scaling.
That's how it goes.
He's trying to help the boys out with a couple death shots.
MC, he's going to try and start this fight now. Get some angle roll back and forth. The blink in. Stormstormer drops down the meteors and just decimating. Poor old Spearbreaker. Kuro ends up dying to one last hit from the Boundless Strike coming from Watson. And with the initiation used and both supports dead now, Entity just feel completely free in this game.
Have no cares. They click on Spearbreaker, they see the BKB. They're now dead from 50. If he buys back, you know, there won't be a BKB by the end of this game. Yeah, I think they are just happy to play with confidence. Enabling each other. Again, like I was trying to touch on it, like Bounty Hunter, boost bearing move speed, 15 talent with your track moves. Like, Entity moves quick. Like, they're able to engage and move perfectly.
They drop it down. MC barely gets brought out of there. GH with the save at the last second. That was a lot used. And Watson now just going to drop the ulti with the alacrity going. He's already 25 too, so the extra big ring. That is going to be a full set of racks going down. 24,000 gold root right now as they all get away.
They need to check themselves on the disengage. Maybe Nigma. No Wukong. Look to try and find at least a pickoff, but yeah, for Entity, reset, go to another lane, wait for Wukongs, slap it down at a Rax, you're going to get it again. You repeat that 2 more times, suddenly you got Mega Creep.
Well, they're going to jump in. Mars like, I'm here, guys, I got him. You're going down. Try to kill him, but no, Toby says no. And they will manage to bring down Amar. Second round, Toby there, finds him immediately. Black Hole gets hit, though. Okay, Bash keeps him alive for now. Sumail has half HP. They buy back onto Amar too. And MC, they run in, and Stormstormer does some good damage. Not quite enough to take down Sumail, but they did get the kill on MC. Now he buys back Amar. He's back into the fight, finds the Hex. Monkey King gave 4 staff away, turns to fight, and they have to jump out. But that's going to be the control. Sumail in trouble. Kai'Sa won't back under the depth shroud, but won't be able to get under it for safety. 90 seconds without their ledge. And Kuro, is he going to be brought down too? You know it.
Just don't have the damage now. Like, even when invoking TPs to bot tier 2, and then has to run back into the fight, they just don't have that explosive damage to kill off a hero. Can't really rely on Leshrac and Tango to be your scaling heroes into the lane game. Go run it down lane.
And that's going to be a lot of damage there onto Amar. Not quite enough for the kill. But yeah, walking down lanes. They still have the Aegis, they've got Cheese, they did have to use the refresher, it was a good Pango bash.
They have Arcane Blink complete on Monkey King.
Yeah, they're ready to go. And then Arcane Blink, look at it go immediately. GH is gonna die. Amar, the last one left alive for Nigma. And hell, he's gonna be glimpsed back in, wants to find some salvation. There is no salvation here. That is points from Entity taking the 36,000 gold lead and taking the game. GG called.
What a beautiful game plan, honestly. It's like the way that they protected their jungle, the way that they understood that they didn't need to be the aggressors in this game to win it. I feel like Fishman, if I could give an MVP, probably would get it just from how well he was able to punish Amar throughout this entire game. And yeah, just a really